am evasive, and I am desperate for the YouTube algorithm to notice me. Yeah, as if transgender women didn't have enough bad things to deal with, I took it upon myself to lure some of them to my house with a 12-pack of hard seltzer and some pizza bagels and record their reactions while I made them watch an offensive trans movie from 1970. Today's feature presentation is a little film called Myra, Breckinridge, which the Wikipedia plot synopsis says is about, and I quote, a transgender woman who has undergone a sex change operation. Claiming to be her own widow, she manipulates her uncle into giving her a position at his acting school, where she attempts to usurp Hollywood's social order by introducing femdom into the curriculum. Or in other words, the perfect film to force trans women to watch for YouTube views. But before we get to the main event, I have to tell you how this movie came to be. It is a wild story. Strap in. Myra, Breckinridge is an X-rated movie based on the novel of the same name by Gore Vidal, an author and screenwriter who was known for his progressive takes on American society and politics. Though he chose not to discuss it much publicly, Vidal was known to be bisexual and lived with a male partner for most of his life. In 1967, Vidal had just finished Washington, D.C., a 432-page political novel that took him a decade to write. Needing a break from serious material, Vidal wrote Myra Breckinridge for fun over the course of a month and published it less than a year later in February of 1968. Named after wealthy Hollywood drag queen and Plan 9 from Outer Space star Bunny Breckinridge, it was the first novel ever to feature a main character going through sex reassignment surgery. So when it was announced, the book sold out of pre-orders 3 times and went on to sell over 2 million copies. Given the subject matter, the book of course outraged many people, including the very conservative National Review magazine and its founder, William F. Buckley. So naturally, later that same year, ABC News thought it would be really funny to put Buckley and Vidal on live TV together.
But I assume that the point of the American democracy
and some
is you can express any point of view you want. Shut up a minute.
No, I won't. And some people were pro-Nazi, and I'm for ostracizing people who egg on other people to shoot American Marines and American soldiers. I know you don't care.
As far as I'm concerned, the only sort of pro- or crypto-Nazi I can think of is yourself. Failing that, I would only say that we can't have.
Now listen, you
the right of assembly.
Stop calling me a crypto-Nazi.
Let's stop calling names.
I'll you in your goddamn face, and you'll stay plastered.
Gentlemen, let's
Bill.
Let the author of Myra Breckinridge go back to his pornography and stop making any illusions of Nazism to somebody who was in infantry in the last war.
You were not in infantry, as a matter of fact. You didn't fight in
After the book became a hit, Gore Vidal sold the film rights to 20th Century Fox for $750,000 and was given the opportunity to write the script himself. Vidal thought his book wouldn't translate well to screen though, so he tried to write a completely new story for the film script. Fox didn't like that and fired him immediately, offering the job to a 29-year-old filmmaker named Michael Sarn instead. They also made the bizarre decision to offer Sarn the role of director too, even though he had only directed one other film before this. Plus, Sarn was an unapologetic misogynist who in 1968 bragged to New York Magazine that he had an affair with the film's star and beat her repeatedly during filming. 20th Century Fox didn't care about any of that though. They just wanted a hip young director who could appeal to the youth. Michael Sarn didn't even want the job anyway. The only reason why he took it is because, well, he was broke.
So I take the book home with me. It was very satirical, very negative about Hollywood, very negative about machismo, very mixed up, very crazy. So I can't touch this, yuck. But I didn't have any money. I literally didn't have a quarter, a nickel. I had no money at all.
As for who would play the transgender star of the film, Audrey Hepburn, Vanessa Redgrave, Elizabeth Taylor, Anne Bancroft, and Angela Lansbury were all considered for the role, as was actual transgender woman Candy Darling. But in the end, the role went to 1960s sex symbol Raquel Welch. Rounding out the cast, we got film critic Rex Reed as pre-transition Myra, Oscar-winning director John Huston as Buck Loner, 22-year-old Farrah Fawcett as Mary Ann Pringle, and Golden Age of Hollywood star Mae West in her first film role in 27 years. For those of you who don't know, Mae West was a huge celebrity in the 1920s, 30s, and 40s who was known for her extremely sexual jokes and endless war against censorship. Known to be one of the most eccentric women in showbiz at the time, she joined the cast of Myra Breckinridge because her psychic told her she should, and she signed on without reading the book or the script. She also had a very long list of demands for the studio, including $350,000 pay, 2 musical numbers, complete control over her lines, complete control over her wardrobe, complete control over Raquel Welch's wardrobe. She didn't have to show up before 5 p.m., and her personal entourage of young muscular men could be with her at all times. On top of that, Mae West also made it very clear that she did not want to share the spotlight with Raquel Welch.
Mae West and Raquel instantly did not like each other. West immediately said, "Oh, she's a sweet little thing, you know, but no real woman would play this part." Well, it was war from that minute on.
She definitely did not want to appear on camera with me in the same frame. She could appear there and I could appear in my shot, but we were not to stand side by side.
And if Mae West's diva behavior wasn't bad enough, right out the gate, director Michael Sarn also went mad with power. According to an article from Entertainment Weekly, Sarn reportedly spent up to 7 hours at a time just thinking while holding up production. He once spent 8 hours photographing a cake. He didn't want to do the film, hated the novel, and thought Vidal would make the film too gay. He referred to Houston, an esteemed filmmaking veteran, as a decrepit old hack, mistreated Welch, and constantly rewrote the script, leaving the narrative all but incoherent. After 12 painful weeks of shooting, 20th Century Fox shut down production on December 19th, forcing Sarn to cobble together a movie with whatever footage he had already shot. This meant throwing in random old Hollywood clips in the middle of the movie to fill time, which angered a bunch of actors who didn't want to be associated with this train wreck. Actress Loretta Young successfully sued to have her clips removed, and the US government stepped in to remove a shot of Shirley Temple milking a goat because she was a US ambassador at the time. Then 6 months later, on June 23rd, 1970, Myra Breckinridge premiered at the Criterion Theater in New York City, and the reaction was... I mean, yeah, it was a disaster. A crowd of 2,000 people came to the theater to catch a glimpse of Raquel Welch and Mae West, and in the process started a small riot that led to smashed windows, injuries, and multiple arrests. After the premiere, Gore Vidal called it the second worst movie he'd ever seen. Critics tore it to shreds, the movie bombed, and Michael Sarn became a Hollywood laughingstock who basically never directed a movie again. So if you're wondering why you've never heard of this movie before, that's probably why. So that was the backstory. Now let's watch some transgender women react to this thing. But before we do, this video is sponsored by Lelo. Firstly, I'm excited to announce that the ultimate pleasure toy brand Lelo is giving away 1,000 free toys and exclusive discounts this month for subscribers to their newsletter. Yes, that's right, you can win a free luxury Lelo toy this month just by following the link below and subscribing for a chance to win. Lelo is a sexual wellness company that has been creating premium toys and accessories since 2002. No matter what your sexual preferences are, Lelo has something for everyone. One new addition to the Lelo lineup is their high-quality Soraya Beads Massager, a one-of-a-kind pleasure device specifically designed for those who are new to anal play exploration. It features 4 beads gradually sculpted in size to provide a gentle start for beginners that moves up to a larger bead at the end for more experienced users. The Soraya Beads has 8 different modes and uses innovative bow motion technology to provide powerful vibrations that resonate one bead after another. Plus, this massager is gender neutral and allows easy access to anal pleasure for everyone. If that's not your pleasure though, that's okay. Lelo has dozens of toy options for everybody. No matter what you're into, you'll find something to love at Lelo. And as I mentioned before, Lelo is now hosting a massive giveaway for subscribers to their newsletter with a total of 1,000 toys up for grabs this month. Follow the link in the description below to subscribe for a chance to win. Good luck! Thank you so much to Lelo for sponsoring. Now let's get into the video.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, what you've all been waiting for, The Man Killer.
The book that couldn't be written is now the motion picture that couldn't be made.
Oh, this is a great start. Yeah, this is a great start.
Here I come!
Everything you've heard about Myra Breckinridge is true.
Why are bagels more feminine than rolls? Because they have a hole? Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. Cool.
Pizza bagels don't have holes though.
Well, they do. They're just covered in cheese.
They will.
There you go, yeah.
So Myra Breckinridge opens with our protagonist about to get sexual reassignment surgery, which is being performed in a giant reflective metal dome with a live audience and a woman with a whip.
This is exactly what my surgery was like.
I would be so...
It's FFS, top surgery, bottom surgery.
Is that Raquel Welch?
Well, it will be in about 6 hours.
Who's this person with the whip?
And now here's the man of the hour. Everyone at home, please give a big round of applause for the gender surgeon.
I think the craziest part of this is that cis people are happy that a trans woman's getting surgery.
Right.
Before he starts the operation, though, the cigarette-smoking surgeon stops to give a very important warning.
You realize once we cut it off, it won't grow back. I mean, it isn't like hair, fingernails, or toenails, you know.
Now, with that out of the way, it's time for the opening credits, where we get to see pre- and post-transition Myra dancing down the Hollywood Walk of Fame to You've Got to Smile to Be Happy by Shirley Temple. YouTube would demonetize me if I played that for you, though, so instead I'm just going to swap it with a meme song.
Oh, now they're dancing together.
Wait, is she?
This is the General Anesthesia Dream Ballet.
Oh, right. She's just under anesthesia.
Okay. This is the dream version of autogynephilia.
Yeah.
By the way, just gonna state the obvious here. This is not how trans surgery works. If you have even a basic understanding of what a trans woman is, then you would know that trans women do not go into surgery looking like this guy and come out looking like Raquel Welch. In real life, it would take years worth of medication, dozens of hair removal sessions, and at least 4 or 5 separate major surgeries to look anything even remotely like Welch does here.
Well, wish me luck. I've never done one of these before.
Anyway, once the opening credits end, the movie cuts to footage of a nuclear explosion. Then a clip from a different Raquel Welch movie. Then a billboard. Then Myra saying a bad word but the wrong part is bleeped out.
And don't you ever forget it, you fuckers.
Then an old movie clip where a guy gets bonked on the head with a baseball. And then the movie starts for real. Myra arrives at an acting school run by her uncle Buck Loner, who apparently spends all his time sitting on fake horses and wearing gigantic cowboy hats. And now here's a scene I did not edit at all.
What's your name, honey?
Myra Breckinridge.
That's mighty long for... Breckinridge?
Yes, I'm the widow of your late nephew, Myron, and I've come to collect $500,000.
Wait, is he just about to get shot? I like this. I like the sporadic cuts to unrelated footage. I think it's working.
So Myra has come to her Uncle Buck to... And listen very carefully to what I'm about to tell you. Myra comes to her uncle and tells him that her pre-transition self was her husband and that he is now dead, and she inherited partial ownership of the school from him because it was left him in his father's will. Or no, sorry, her father's will. Except she's saying that her past self was a different person, so I guess it would be his father's will because she's pretending to be her own widow. So... I don't know. Basically, she's a girl boss. Then a gay acting teacher named Irving Amadeus shows up and Buck asks him to take Myra on a tour. But before she does the tour, she decides to try jumping in and guest lecturing a class herself. And what follows is one of the most unhinged string of lines I have ever heard in a movie. Content warning, by the way. And yes, there's going to be a few of these.
In which he saw straight through the strenuous clowning to the hard fact that American women are eager for men to rape them, and vice versa.
I mean to have my masseuse come in at 5 instead of 6 as I'm getting horny watching my niece on TV.
No! Christ.
So then after a random scene where a gardener gets shot with an arrow, Irving takes Myra on a tour of the school. Except it's not Myra, it's her pre-transition self, which... Okay, just getting this out of the way now, this movie does this thing where the actors for pre-transition and post-transition Myra will sometimes swap places, sometimes in the middle of a scene, or sometimes Myra will be there and her pre-transition self will be standing in the room with her and talking to her like he's Tyler Durden or cyberpunk Keanu Reeves living inside her brain. It's very weird and confusing, and also the movie doesn't bother to explain any of this to the audience, so...
You said this did bad in the box office?
So while Myra is getting the grand tour, Buck records a voice message asking his lawyer for help while a woman massages his ass cheeks.
Honey, that is simply wonderful. Strike that.
What the?
Not me. Flag.
Let's go inside and watch some of the fundamentals of acting class.
Oh, now it's back to Myra.
I'm very confused.
But you're a fat, aren't you?
I'm gonna grab a piece of it.
I'm calling the F word.
He did.
And then there's a short acting class scene where the camera guy pans over to an extra's boobs, and then cut from that to Buck leaving his office wearing an even bigger hat than he was in the earlier scene.
Look at this man. Look at this.
I'm just gonna say, I watched Goodfellas yesterday. To me, these are the same caliber of movie.
Yeah.
They are equivalent.
I was going to say, like, not remind you of Doug Dimmadome?
This is no way. I feel like
Fairly Odd Parents.
He is very Doug Dimmadome.
Okay.
Owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
It's
one.
giving very that.
So Myra and Irving sit down with some students at the school cafeteria, and we get to hear Myra have an internal monologue about how one of her new students, Rusty Godowski, is
marvelously hung.
And now... I mean, I don't even know how to explain this next scene.
Great bunch of boys here. Of course, you get the occasional weirdo, but greatest bunch of kids in Hollywood. Bread.
Hold on.
Now, wait a minute. Myra, the faculty may be a bunch of commies and fags. No offense, Irvin.
To be honest, that does sound like the kind of college I'd want to go to.
Commies and
I would have gone to college if it was like that. Yeah.
Okay, enough about Myra and Uncle Buck. It's time to go across town to meet this movie's other leading lady, Hollywood casting agent Letitia Van Allen.
Oh. Is this Mae West?
I'll be right with you, boys.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Her smile is so British.
Well, I don't care about your credits as long as you're over 6.
Oh, that's one of my credits. A bed.
And then after that exchange, Letitia performs a dick inspection on young Tom Selleck here, which of course is demonstrated by a Laurel and Hardy clip involving a really long piece of wood. And now here's the best joke in the movie.
How tall are you without your horse?
Well, ma'am, I'm 6 feet 7 inches.
Never mind about the 6 feet. Let's talk about the 7 inches.
Oh my God. She literally did a those are separate numbers. She would kill it on Grindr. No standards, ready to talk about dick.
Later that night, Myra is giving a private lesson to Rusty's girlfriend, Mary Ann Pringle, who tells Myra that she's deeply in love with Rusty and wants to have his babies, which makes Myra extremely jealous. So she sends her out of the apartment, and as soon as she's alone, she and her pre-transition self walk around and discuss world domination.
My goal is the destruction of the last vestigial traces of traditional manhood.
In order to go.
Decreasing population.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know about decreasing population.
Let's go.
Carrying humanity for its next stage.
We are here to neuter.
And then, I mean, yeah, this is exactly what it looks like.
Oh my God, no, this is literally autogynephobia.
Forever. I'm kidding.
I would get freaked out. He would be very nervous about it. It'd be a no-go.
Oh, pre-transition me could get it.
He would be transphobic, honestly.
It's just, I fuck too many people who are like dissociating while we're having sex. I wouldn't want to do it with myself.
Yeah.
Now you'd think we'd get a steamy sex scene here, but no, instead we get a dream sequence where a blonde woman gives a Sesame Street lesson about food names.
F is for French fry. P is for pizza.
Oh, I'm sorry.
B is for pretzel. A is for apple.
What do you think the main drug on set was for this?
Definitely cocaine.
You're saying that as if there was one.
Yeah, right. Okay, but the balance of like cocaine to psychedelics versus like your standard movie. I feel like they're balancing towards psychedelics a little.
Yeah. Some LSD.
Definitely. Sure. The editors were definitely on psychedelics.
Yeah.
I do think that maybe he was snorting or doing something because he was like, woo, out there.
While drug use on set, there was a smoking dope, you know.
There was a haze of pot over the entire Fox lot in West Los Angeles.
Okay, so then Myra is teaching a class and Buck pulls her aside to say that he doesn't like the way she's teaching. And then he calls her pre-transition self, which he thinks is her dead husband, the F slur, and she does one of the worst fake punches I've ever seen in a movie.
This is the thing. This is the thing that you don't realize about trans women is that once you transition, you get superpowers.
And then we cut back to Letitia's office, where we meet an Italian man named
Mario Giuseppe Leonardo Guastaferri Stinginate Pastriani.
I honestly have no clue what's happening. Even
we're 10 minutes into this movie.
Or something.
Yeah. I'll be right with you, boys. There's enough for all of you. Jobs, I mean.
Like, if her only thing she does as head of this company is show up and bang men.
What is her relationship to anything else in this movie? Like, she has no connection.
No, like, literally no connection.
Well, what do you know? The pizza man. When do you deliver?
Okay, so Letitia bangs this Italian man, which is demonstrated with a clip of a guy being stabbed by Zorro, and after that, Buck goes to a diner to meet his lawyer and discuss how to get rid of Myra. But then instead of discussing how to get rid of Myra, they just start talking about modern cinema corrupting the youth of America.
I saw this picture where people were fornicating. Fornicating.
Oh my god, wait! Look at the background! The cops are just stopping and frisking.
Oh. What the fuck? Oh my god.
Corrupting our youth.
Hey, what's going on here?
Just making it. Every frame's a painting.
Oh, okay.
And now we go back to the school, where we find Myra in her office trying to seduce Rusty with some kind of bizarre mating dance.
Okay, but here's the thing. She's still only fucked herself in this movie.
Yeah, right?
Which, like, I am surprised at.
I mean, body count's low.
Yeah, body count's 0.
She knows her worth.
Yeah.
By the way, horrible timing, but...
Content warning. Sexual harassment.
I know. Are you shocked? Are you at all surprised that I have to give you this content warning? Be honest. Okay, so then in a scene that I can't show you very much of because of YouTube regulations, Myra has Rusty take off his shirt and stand up against the wall so she can pull his pants down and reveal his ass to the camera.
I'd say around the lumbar region. Aha! Gotcha!
Is that the Chattanooga Choo-Choo? Yes, yes.
This feels like the first time I watched Memento. It like starts at the end. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then you just have more questions, but you get one answer.
Okay, moving on. Myra and Letitia both go to some kind of Hollywood sex party with a lot of nudity I'm going to have to censor. And then in the middle of that scene, it cuts away to almost a whole minute of a musical number from a different movie.
They're not really like kind of even trying to like make it make sense.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Listen, you're here now. We're just gonna keep fucking confusing you.
You're still watching.
Yeah.
Then finally, Buck, Letitia, and Myra meet over some Coke product placements, and it's revealed that Rusty has been arrested for violating parole. Mae West stops making sex jokes for a second to say that she can get Rusty out of jail, and then immediately goes back to making sex jokes again.
They're voting me a special Academy Award.
An Oscar?
No, a golden phallus.
Do any of you know any character's name other than Myra?
Rusty is the guy whose pants she pulled.
Well, how could you forget Uncle Buck?
Yeah, Uncle Buck special.
Yeah, Uncle Buck, Rusty, Letitia. I think that was her name.
Letitia?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's her. But that's,
Oh, Letitia. Oh.
Nothing is sticking in my brain.
True to her word, Letitia calls a weed-smoking judge to get Rusty out of jail, and Myra brings him back to school. And then the movie cuts to another Laurel and Hardy clip where Hardy pours tomato juice all over himself. And then it shows some clips of women dancing with giant bananas. And now it's time for the first of Mae West's 2 musical numbers.
Oh my god. Wait, is this the musical number?
Yes.
What if it wasn't?
Well, there's
like,
apparently
not yet.
2 musical numbers in this.
Oh, there is.
I was really confused how they were going to fit musical numbers in, but not anymore.
I feel like we're pretty late into the movie.
Wait, is this the same set as the surgery was? Like that silver wall?
It might be.
Oh,
I mean, I can't imagine
You're so observant.
They got that much funding. What was the budget for this movie?
$20.
You gotta taste all the fruit.
Oh, here we go.
Look at
Oh. She did her own choreography, too.
Yes.
Amazing.
So Mae West finishes her song and disappears. And then 16 seconds later, she reappears in a completely different outfit. And now it's time for the second of Mae West's 2 musical numbers.
Girls and things will come by the dozen. That ain't nothing but drugstore loving. Good looking thing loving like you.
Is this the second number, or is this a continuation of the first one?
Second.
Actions speak louder than words, and I'm a girl with a great experience.
She's not even singing, she's just talking. Oh my god.
The dancers, what are they doing? Nobody's like you.
I don't think they know what they're doing.
I don't think so either.
I like they got a bunch of black guys and they were like, now forget everything you know about dance.
We were like,
Yes.
This has been all.
I need you guys to be the most offbeat you have ever been, okay?
After the contractually required Mae West musical numbers are over, we get a completely unimportant sequence of scenes with Buck, and then... okay.
Content warning. Essay.
Yeah, there's more of this. And this one is a lot worse. So the next 10 minutes of this 90-minute movie are dedicated to Myra giving Rusty a physical exam. And by physical exam, I mean that she puts on a skin-tight American flag outfit, ties Rusty to a bed, and rapes him with a... And again, I can't show you any of this because of YouTube rules and also because I don't want to. In case you're wondering, yes, the actor for Rusty quit acting forever after this. And yes, this scene is in the original novel. I haven't read the novel myself, but I did find an analysis about it from the LA Times that says, "We're meant to read the scene and its aftermath as a major step in her grand social ledger balancing. It's an unsettling scene. Its cynicism par for the course for Vidal, who was inclined to think of America as forever courting decline. Any hope of the country righting itself would demand a wholesale reshuffling of the sexual order. If it took a rape scene to shake America out of its rut of heteronormative desires and power plays, Vidal figured, so be it." Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to talk about this anymore. Instead, I'll just show you their reaction.
Gotta take it out. Oh my gosh, this is... I am the most confused right now.
Wait, did that dude do something to her at some point?
No.
She's just into him.
He was completely innocent.
He was homophobic.
He was a little homophobic.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
He did. He was homophobic. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I do think something interesting with this is that usually the fear of trans women is the fear that they'll trick you into fucking them, but the man is still topping, and it's this disgust of getting tricked into being the penetrator rather than the fear of being penetrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything.
You're just saying things at this point.
I'm just saying things.
Yeah, we're just ready.
So after Myra is done setting trans rights back about 40 years, she calls Rusty's girlfriend Marianne and invites her over so she can
complete the cycle and seduce his girl. Only then will my victory be complete.
Marianne comes over and she's upset because Rusty just broke up with her and she doesn't know why. So Myra comforts her and gives up her bed so Marianne can get some sleep. And then she gets a call from Letitia, who tells her she just had sex with Rusty.
Is it the right color?
Well, I guess so. It's the usual color. Didn't you ever make it with him?
Not in the classic way, no.
I do think, so Myra was, intrigued by Felicia, or Leticia. What's the fucking name? Letitia. Was she seems powerful. That was when they first met. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's the whole point of that character is supposed to make her, you know what? Halfway through a sentence and I didn't have an end.
But I femininity is in power here. All of the men are pathetic or sex objects.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too far up my own ass.
The next day, Buck and a completely different lawyer than the one earlier in the movie call Myra into Buck's office and accuse her of making a fake marriage certificate. And now with 10 minutes left in the movie, we are introduced to yet another new character named
Dr. Randolph Spencer Montag.
The great dental psychiatrist?
I trust his word will be sufficient.
Now the movie cuts to New York City, where we meet this dental psychiatrist performing some dental psychiatry.
Myra, dental health is mental health. Will you try to remember that?
The 70s was a crazy time. Crazy time, honey.
Myra, get out now, dear.
Oh, you've got such lovely boobs. They're such a comfort to me.
No, I said...
What? I love her.
Now cut back to LA, where we find the dental psychiatrist asleep in Buck's office, contributing absolutely nothing to the scene. And now, finally, the big reveal.
I believe the moment of truth has finally arrived.
Go get him.
Gentlemen, I am Myra Breckinridge. Uncle Buck, your fat nephew, became your niece 2 years ago in Copenhagen and is now free as a bird and happy in being the most extraordinary woman in the world.
So what was the surgery?
She's showing her vagina.
Yeah.
But what does that prove?
But yeah, that doesn't prove anything.
So after exposing herself to Uncle Buck and his lawyers, we find Myra and Marianne in bed together. And then Marianne says the magic words that change everything.
If only there was some man like you. If only you were a man.
Dude, no.
She's going back.
And then with 5 minutes left in the movie, we get to see Myra's pre-transition self hit Myra with a car and send her flying in the air.
What? Oh.
Then after a few more movie clips and a wink from an extra, Myron wakes up in the hospital.
Oh my god, they take him in for car accident surgery and he accidentally gets gender.
So we're like,
Oh, it was a slip disc, not take the dick.
And in the end, it turns out the whole movie was a dream. We see that Marianne was actually his nurse the whole time, and the movie does a slow pan over to a magazine cover that completely breaks the fourth wall. Then the movie hard cuts to the end credits, which reuses the exact same dance number from the beginning of the movie.
That's just the end of the movie.
Wow. What a... Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
But the movie's too choppy. Not that I know anything about movies, but...
Choppy.
But I couldn't understand it. It kept changing all the time.
Yeah, well, it's about change.
So that was Myra Breckinridge, and yeah, so you know,
I want to wake up and believe that this was all a dream.
Really?
I
enjoyed my time
never
here.
want to forget this movie. I like that, okay, it got right that when you transition, you go under for one surgery and you wake up a girl.
Yeah.
I think it got right that,
and I'm so busy.
And we love
too
hats.
busy.
I thought I wanna remake this movie. I think it has major potential if we just came up with a plot of any kind, really.
I would like to know what it would be like if they actually had more time and they actually finished it in a real way.
Yeah.
There's something interesting about like the core of the movie is about like her confidence was different after and everything, and like
she was so confident. Yeah, literally she transitioned.
I think if you got like a John Waters or like a Charles Busch, you would get a much better movie than if you just got some straight guy to direct it. It's pretty radical in what it's doing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too radical in what it was trying to do, and also the fact that it's just kind of incomprehensible.
I mean, like her fucking that dude is like kind of a bummer. Kind of a bummer is a funny way to say that. It sucks because it's just like, oh, okay, well, there's just like another way that they're insane.
I do think like having Raquel Welch play the character points to a period in time when people thought of trans women as just like extremely hot, like controversial people or whatever, as opposed to now it's like the man in a dress trope where it's like so it's like it was kind of this weirdly glamorous era of trans depiction.
You're totally okay.
You know what I mean?
Because here's the thing: when Christine Jorgensen, who is the first American to get bottom surgery that we know of, when that became a big public story, the way it was always pitched was not like, "Look at this freak." It was like GI becomes beautiful blonde.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she would do tours and stuff, and like she would get haters, but like a lot of people were really like Wow, that's
it's
crazy.
also worth noting that, I mean, at this point, there wasn't really like trans politics in the way there is now. It was either just GI to Bombshell or haha, fat man in a dress. I think this movie was close to being brilliant, but I would not call it a good movie by any means.
I am Evasive. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow me on all the social medias if that's your thing. And if you want to see the full recording of the trans woman watching Myra Breckinridge, I will have that up on my Patreon, link in the description below. Oh, and as for my thoughts, yeah, I mean, this is just a bad, unfinished movie. And sure, there are a lot of those, but this one is different. And not just because of the whole vintage transphobia thing going on, but because the backstory behind this movie is way more entertaining than the movie itself. Someone really needs to make a disaster artist type movie about this. Hello, YouTube investors who might be watching this video. I am asking for $20 million to create my new original film, Myra Breckinridge, the Myra Breckinridge story, to be released exclusively as a YouTube Red original film. As a graduate of the New York University Film School program, I am confident that my film will make an excellent addition to your already stellar lineup of YouTube Red original films. And now, I would like to start off my presentation by showing you... Wait, hang on. Sorry, hang on.
Texas cowhand making love to his gal. Got a SM.
It's the
Special thank you to my top tier patrons, Ajax, Alexis Angiano, Andrea Morton, Andrew Coro, Andrew C., Aurora Borealis, Bob the Pinecone, Brandon Crane, Bruno, Caleb Fortner, Carlton Barzon, Doc Davis, Dylan Zahner, Aaron 2000, Garrett Abelin, Gary V. Walters, Jane Elwood Strawberry, Joshua Grimsley, Kit, Lucas Probably, Maximum, Mick LeClaire, Neurodivergers, Pigeon Rose, Pooh Bear Thought, Richard Brown, and Zoe B.